Everybody. So if everybody would, if you don't want to, a piece of advice, put your mics off for the next 5 or 10 minutes, because I take the only bit of the video that gets used for the public is the guided meditation. And if your mic is off and you breathe and suddenly the camera goes to you, then you will appear in that. Whereas if your mic is off, as I'm the only one that's speaking, it's me that's going to be recorded. Okay, so if everybody would like to join me for an opening prayer. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, thank you very much for bringing us together. Thank you for our guides working together to put a protective wall around us. Please let us open up in safety, allow our loved ones to come forward, and please help everyone to receive at least one message tonight and to give one message, or maybe even more. Thank you. Amen. Okay, so here's rule 101, the first basic of mediumship, opening and closing. Opening is where you mentally open yourself to the spiritual realm. Closing is obviously the reverse of that. Now, if you are working with me and if you start opening and closing, it is very, very easy once you know what you're doing to open. It is also very dangerous. Here's a very simple statistic for you. Current Earth population is 8.5 billion people. If you do a search on Google for how many people have been born, the number, not including miscarriages, this is just people that are calculated to have been born and lived, is 108 billion.
Here are some results from a search.
Oh, excuse me. You don't have to be an accountant to take 108 minus 8 to work out that there are 17 spirits for every one of us. So that means that if you're open and ready to communicate, there are, on average, 17 spirits willing to communicate with you. So the bottom line is, it doesn't matter where you are, when you are, you will connect to a spirit. The next question is, do you want to connect to that spirit? Maybe you do, but most of the time you won't. If you're driving your car along the highway and you suddenly open and you suddenly get this urge from a spirit to the side of you, and most spirits are a wee bit more careful than that, but I have had that happen to me. I've been driving along, I've been open because I've been going to a church, and suddenly this spirit comes out of nowhere. Mark, hello. And okay, I've got control of the car, I know what I'm doing, but even so. Second, it's not good for your health. If you walk around, when you are open, you're using energy. Now, each one of us generates energy, and if we use it, and if you're only open and closed for when you're working, giving messages, you don't have to panic. But if you walk around constantly open, here's the symptoms to look out for. You start waking up in the morning very tired, and it's cumulative. You get tireder every morning. You may suddenly start waking up in the middle of the night, like regular time, 4 o'clock. And you may find your health going down. Now, for example, I'm a type 1 diabetic. When I work on a church platform, my sugar level usually drops by about 5 or 6. So quite often people get a wee bit confused because I'm busy testing my sugar level halfway through the service because I can feel my sugar level going down. And that happens every time I work. So there's a real physical demonstration of your body using up energy to be open and communicate. Now, okay, I'm maybe working at a higher level when I'm giving messages and on a church platform, but the basic principle is the same. So once you know how to close, make sure that you're not open by accident. If you suddenly find yourself open, then at the end, I'll tell you what to do if you want to do this on a regular basis, but just make sure that you close, okay? So before we open, we're going to do a grounding. Now, those of you that have a background in Reiki, you'll understand what this means. It's just basically where you're getting yourself ready, at one with nature, peace and spirit, ready to open up. So if everybody wants to make yourself comfortable, sit and relax, feet firmly on the ground, put your hands on your knees, sides of the chair, close your eyes and tune into my voice. Now I want everybody to take a very deep breath and hold it for the count of 1, 2, 3, and exhale. Now again, take another deep breath And this time, before you exhale, I want you to just imagine taking a rake through your mind and clearing everything. Today's activities, whatever you were thinking about 2 seconds ago, and just rake it all out of your mind so that you've got nothing left but a blank light, a blank sheet of paper. And exhale, and just get rid of everything. And finally, take a third deep breath. And this time, that last thought, that last irritation, that last pain in your back, just crumple it up, and as you exhale, get rid of it. Now, having grounded, we are now going to open. Now, the imagery that I'm about to use, if you're able to open, feel free to change it with your own imagery, but otherwise, just listen to my voice. So again, keep your eyes closed and relax. Picture yourself at the foot of Westminster, the Houses of Parliament in London. Walk into the main chamber. Now the guide is just going to guide you to the tower where Big Ben is. You probably didn't know this, and it's probably not true, but there's a set of spiral stairs. Just walk up them. And at the top of those stairs is, of course, Big Ben. And there's this nice handle at the side of it that you can pick up a hammer and just hit Big Ben. And there's an enormous ring of the bell. And as it rings, sunlight comes streaming in. And there you are standing in a pool of light, now open to the other side. Now that you are open, we're now going to do a guided meditation. So again, just relax and listen to my voice. You're sitting in your chair. Feel the contours of the chair. It's a beautiful, comfortable chair. Now, your body in your chair is just a set of clothes. The real you is the spiritual you, or psychic you, as we call it, to differentiate between those that have passed and those that are still in their physical bodies. I want your spiritual you, to stand up and step away from your body. Turn around and have a look at yourself. Have a good laugh at yourself. I don't know what you're laughing at, but there must be something about yourself that you're not happy with, something that you find amusing. Maybe it's a wrinkle, maybe it's the grey hair that I've been trying to hide for the last 10 years. Maybe it's the clothes that you put on this morning that you're thinking, oh my God, why am I wearing that? Maybe it's even a piece of jewelry that doesn't match. It doesn't matter. Just find something to laugh about yourself. And then realize that you're laughing at a suit of clothes that you can change tomorrow. Now turn around and have a look around the room that you were sitting in. Find the door. Walk to the door, open it, walk into the hall or the next room, and just work your way through your home until you get to the front door. Now, I don't know if you're in a house, a flat, an apartment, don't even know if you're in a hotel bedroom, it doesn't matter. Work your way out onto the main street. Now, anybody that's ever been to London, you probably gather there's a London theme tonight. You know what a black Hackney cab looks like. And there, waiting for you, is the spiritual black Hackney cab. Open the door, get in, sit in the chair, close the door. The taxi driver turns his head round and says, hello, where do you want to go? And just wave your hand and say, take me wherever. And he'll say, rightio, in a nice Londoner accent, which I can't imitate in a Scottish accent, so you're going to have to use your imagination. And he starts driving the cab down your street. And then he makes a right-hand turn at the end of your street, and then a left-hand turn, and a right-hand turn, and a left-hand turn, and another right. And by now you realize that you're completely lost. Look out the window and you realize that wherever you were, you've now managed to get yourself onto the M25, which we call the London Car Park. It's actually a five-lane motorway, freeway that goes around London. And he's driving around that, and then he drives into London, goes through the suburbs, and works his way to London Bridge. And he parks the cab. he says, here you are. You don't need to pay him. It's a spiritual cab. Just get out. Now, London is full of ghosts, and they've all gathered on London Bridge to say hello and have a party. There's everybody there. Kings, queens, beggars, people that were executed, people that died of old age. There's 8 or 9 million people in London. Imagine how many ghosts have come to meet you. There's even a Roman centurion there. Work your way through the crowd, just keep saying hello. And at the end of the bridge is the aquarium. Go to the aquarium, walk in, find your way to the shark tank, have a good look, climb up to the top and jump in. Don't worry, you're spiritual. The sharks aren't going to hurt you. Swim down to the bottom of the tank, and at the bottom of the tank is this big ornate mermaid's castle. There's 2 mermaids sitting in front of it, but they're plastic, so don't bother having a conversation with them. They're not spiritual. Open the door to this ornate plastic castle and walk in. Now, when you walk in, there's no water. You find yourself going into a room that you're very familiar with. It's a room from your childhood or your past or your imagination. It might be a friend's room, it might be your room, but it's your comfort zone. It's where you are totally comfortable, totally safe. And that's why it's your room, your personal room, from your background, your history, your imagination. And there's 2 chairs in this room. One of them's empty, and one of them has somebody that's been waiting for you. Everything up till now has just been my imagination, and yours if you came with me. This is someone that's real, someone that's passed over, someone that you know, and they're standing up, they're coming over to greet you. Embrace them in whatever way is appropriate. It might be a kiss, it might be a cuddle, it might be a handshake. Say hello. And they take you over to the 2 chairs, and you sit down together. And I'm now going to leave you together for approximately 3 minutes. This is your time. You're not trying to get a message for somebody else. Have a conversation, catch up. They might want you to tell them what you're doing here tonight. So this is your time, and I will come back in approximately 3 minutes. Okay, now keep your eyes closed. Listen to my voice. It's time to say goodbye to your loved one. They know that the time's come to an end. Stand up together, make a final embrace, walk back to the door of the room. Your loved one stays behind. Don't look back because they know it's time for them to go. They've left. Go back out into the shark tank. The sharks come up, just pat them on the head. They're nice, tame sharks and you're spiritual anyway. Swim up to the surface. Pull yourself back up over the side. Give yourself a good shake. Head out of the aquarium, down the steps. Have a look at the River Thames in front of the aquarium. Walk back over to London Bridge. Most of the spirits, the ghosts have gone, but there's just a few there to say goodbye. Think of your favourite London historical character. There they are. Say hello to them, say goodbye to them. The taxi cab's waiting for you. Get into the taxi. Taxi driver does a U-turn, drives through London, back out to the M25. Suddenly you find yourself going left, right, right, left, right, left, and you're back in your street. He pulls up in front of your home. Get out of the taxi. Say goodbye to the taxi driver as he drives off. Walk in your front door. Work your way through your rooms, your halls, your doors, back to where you've left your body. Have a good look at it. And just take possession. Sit down in the chair. Get comfortable. When you're ready, just open up your eyes and come back to consciousness, but only when you're ready. Okay, so let's just very quickly go around everybody and just tell us how you found that and what you experienced. Yeshwin, do you want to go first?
Sure. So this is the first time I actually went to my little dorm room, first year of freshman for college, and I had arrived early. This was a liberal arts school in Vermont, year 1975, and I actually, so there was nobody in the school when I originally arrived there because I had taken a transatlantic flight, and I sat on that little bed. I haven't thought of that room in a long time anyway. I had my spirit guides come visit me, and we had a good long talk about how they've been with me all along. And even if they did not show themselves as they are, that I had other spirit guides because I had a lot of miraculous things happen with help. So it was just a very nice sort of conversation to connect with the spirit world.
Excellent. Okay. Jackie, how was that for you this week?
Yeah, it was good. I actually followed the meditation, and it was somebody that passed over that I hadn't, from where I used to live. So he came to meet me, and then there was other people. It was really good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice catch-up time then.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Susan, how was that for you?
That was good. It was relaxing. I think I saw somebody that passed away. There was no talking. I mean, I was talking, but he wasn't. So.
Well, yes, he was. Remember that in your early days, you might think, oh no, they're not speaking, but all the communication is in the mind. It's all, even if you think you hear them, it's subconscious. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know who you were speaking to. Did you recognize who it was?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So they've probably said a lot of things to you that will come, you'll be aware of it when you need it. Or it may just be subconscious emotional communication. I mean, remember, animals can communicate without saying a word, and yet we know exactly what they're saying. So don't panic if you didn't understand it. You will when you need it if you need to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Steph, was that your first ever guided meditation? Have you ever done anything like that before?
I've done some like guided meditations on apps and things like that.
Okay.
But I've kind of started doing just my own meditation more recently and had quite a lot of things come through.
Okay.
Lots of ancestral guidance and things, which has been great. But whenever I visited mediums, it's always my grandmother that comes through. Always, she's very chatty, and I wear her ring. So I was just sitting here holding her ring, thinking, "Oh, we'll see." But this was the first time that I've ever experienced direct conversation with her from myself.
That's a
So
good
that was
step
very
forward
powerful.
then.
Very powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Now, one just picking up on one thing you said.
Hmm.
When you're doing your self-meditation,
Yeah.
have you been opening and closing the way that I did when I opened? And obviously we'll do a closing at the end.
No, because I haven't been. This is kind of why I was so drawn to your
Yeah.
group, because I don't know how to.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm feeling very like drained a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
what you said at the beginning really resonated with me.
Yeah. So what you need to do, I mean, I'm not saying don't meditate and don't communicate. Obviously, you've obviously been managing to do something, but make sure that from now on you open and close
Yes,
properly.
definitely.
Ground yourself,
Yeah, I appreciate
open,
that.
close. You'll find that what I do is, as I said at the beginning, when I told everybody to put their mics on, I've got a Facebook group. I'll cover this at the end for people that want to know more, but you can actually find the recordings of the guided meditations there. So there's a library of about 5 or 6 that you can maybe use as an alternative to doing it by yourself until you feel able to protect yourself a bit stronger.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're
Yeah, that
welcome.
really helped.
We'll cover all that at the end when we're going through if you want to follow, etc. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Deb, how was that for you this week?
That was really nice. I was speaking with my dad. And this is going to be the first Thanksgiving that we're not together, and
Okay. So
yeah.
quite emotional then.
yeah, very much. You know, but I do have a picture of him cutting the turkey, and that's on my wall, and so he'll be with us in spirit.
Yeah,
That's
just remember
lovely.
he will be there.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So,
Okay.
oh, Mark,
What?
is it?
Yes.
I'm on my iPhone, and my computer finally did its thing. Can I
Okay.
try to connect through the computer? Is that
Yeah, of
okay?
course. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll go into the waiting room. So thanks for telling me. I'll
Okay.
watch out for you. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Carol, so have you ever done anything like that before in your experiences?
Oh yeah, I've done stuff like that before, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
your one was quite involved and detailed.
Yeah.
Which helps, obviously, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
So how
well,
did you experience? I mean, what did you experience?
I experienced I experienced the things I should experience. And when I got into the cave in the mermaid's lair,
Yeah.
I'm sure my loved one gave way to my spirit guide, who
Yeah.
I've christened the Invisible Man. The Invisible Man's my spirit guide. You know, I can't see him.
Okay.
I can't hear him. Sometimes I hear him.
Yeah.
But you know, I sort of know he's there. And I realised a little while ago, I don't need to see him. I don't need to know his name. I don't need to know anything except that he's there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just told me to relax and focus.
Yeah.
You know, I said, you know, what do I need to know? It's my favourite question. And he just said, well, I do that with tarot, you know.
Yeah.
I do that with people who want to do the tarot when I do it. And I just said, what do I need to do? And he just said, relax and focus.
Yeah.
And,
Correct.
you know, it's a lot easier said than done. A lot easier said than done.
No, it's the easiest thing to do once you know how to.
Show me.
That's what you're here for.
It is.
Okay, excellent. Right, Mike, how was that for you this week?
Yeah, it was good. Really relaxing as well, as last time and the time before.
Recording in progress.
It's a bit strange when I got
Right,
obviously
Deb,
feedback.
one second. Deb, you've got two microphones there, so you'll need to switch one of them off.
Okay, sorry
That's
about that.
That's okay. Right, Mike, off you go again.
Yeah, when I got to the room, it was actually my mum's living room. Bit strange.
Okay. Yeah.
Not very visual this week, but I was getting like lots of thoughts. It's like thoughts colliding. Strange, like really overwhelming.
Yeah.
For like the 3 minutes. Yeah, no distinguishable person or anything like that. Just loads of overwhelming thoughts. Bit strange.
Yeah. Well, somebody must have been there. I mean, if you're getting those thoughts, if you're getting those
Yeah,
messages,
yeah.
somebody is communicating with you. It's just a case of practice, just a case of getting yourself used to it, and you'll be able to work out who it is that's communicating with you.
Yeah,
Might,
sure.
might even have been one of your guides. You don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Dean, how was that for you? I take it that's your first guided meditation.
Actually, that was quite interesting. A lot like Mike, it was more so that I had just images of my father and grandmother, and that was basically it.
Right. Well, let me interject that was not images. That was your father and your grandmother.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's the whole point of a guided meditation like this, is to take you into a meditative state that they can communicate directly with you. Now, it's your first time, so don't panic.
Okay. I thought I was doing something wrong because I'm thinking.
No. When you do this on a more regular basis, when you get more comfortable, you'll actually be able to have a conversation with them.
Okay. Wonderful.
They probably, as I was saying earlier, they will have communicated with you, but it's probably if you're not aware of it, don't panic.
Okay.
It's subconscious, and if it's anything you need to know, you'll know it when you need to know it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you.
Okay, right. Now, there's one thing I should have mentioned at the beginning. I am going to try and do something tonight. Unfortunately, my second camera, I've got a problem with the cable, so I can only do it on battery, and I don't know how long it's going to last. But we're going to do we're going to just show you how to use cards to try and help you when you're doing readings. It may not work, because as I said, I'm having a problem with the camera, so we'll wait till later because I'm charging the battery as we speak. So let's get started. Yeshmin, you're going into the deep end.
I figured, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah. 2 readings, 6 minutes, 3 minutes of reading.
Okay.
Off you go.
All right. Just 1 second. Could I come to you, Carl?
You may.
Yeah. Hi, Carl.
Hi there.
Hi, Carl. What happens to me is usually I'm given an object or a little introductory image, and then I'm led into a scene in which I see things with the help of spirit. So, Carl, for you, I saw. Did you have any time when you were a child or anywhere around you now, you know, the old school hand pumps that you can actually pump water? You hold on to the handle and you press up and down. You know that kind of pump? Okay.
I know what you mean.
Okay, so I saw a place with this kind of pump, and I see that it was painted red. Can you remember a time in your life when you were younger and you're playing around, and I guess you're pumping some water to drink from it after playing around? Can you go back to a time? Do you remember a time where you might have played with an outside and there was a pump like that? Because there's a gentleman that's coming through around this time.
I don't remember anything like that.
No, have you ever played? You don't remember ever playing with a pump? Okay, so did you ever go to the country at all, where there was a very nice? It's not. I don't know if you were taken to the country as a child to play, to have a vacation? Did you have a farmhouse that your parents might have rented that you would have gone to?
Farmhouse, no. We
Okay,
did have like a small chalet.
okay,
You might say it's a small cabin.
a small cabin. Okay,
Yeah.
and
I mean small.
very small. Okay, that's good because I'm seeing something where it's an old sort of vacation, spot, but very nice. It's not like, a mowed lawn or anything, but it's in a very sort of nice rural setting. And I see that you went. Do you have an uncle in spirit, Carl?
I do actually, yes.
Okay. I believe it's your, he says he's your uncle. Let me see. He's a slim man, he's young, and he's smiling at you and playing with you as you're running around the yard of this vacation place. Can you accept that, Carl?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't. Okay. Did your uncle travel with your family? Or was there another gentleman that would have joined the family in this vacation place?
No, we would have holidayed just as a family.
So I'm asking, maybe this is your father. Did your father have sort of dark blonde hair, sort of straight dark blonde hair when he was younger?
He was all dark haired, but his hair did go blonder in the summer.
Oh, okay. In the summer it went blonder.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Carl, did you have okay, he's saying, so can we accept that this spirit is your father coming through? Because you are in this vacation. He's showing me something happened that was like a loss or an unfortunate kind of event that happened when you were on vacation. Can you accept that? That was an accident.
There was an accident that happened at that place, yes.
Okay. So he's drawing my attention to this accident, and you're pretty young at this time. You're pretty hurt, very hurt. And because of the accident, I guess you were not comforted enough because everybody's attention was around this accident. Was it another child that had an accident? Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Okay, so you were hurting, but all the attention was on the child that had the accident. And basically, your father is saying, Carl, I love you. I should have paid more attention to you at this time. Did you hide from people during this accident? I see
No,
you.
no, and can I stop there, Yashin? My father is still on this side.
Oh, he is. So that's not your father then.
He's not my father, no.
Around this accident, was there, okay, but I've been brought to this. Was there another person that would have been a male figure that would have helped you around this accident? That is now in spirit.
It's a long time ago, and I really don't think so. It was a family holiday quite some distance away.
Okay, yeah.
And I was quite young at the time.
Yes, yes.
I think it was like about 10 or so, maybe less.
Okay, so, but, okay. Did they call a doctor over to the house?
I think the doctor or the hospital was involved, yes.
Okay, yeah. Because there's a gentleman that's around this accident, and I'm sorry, I can't like we can't identify who it is for you. Can you accept that there was a gentleman that was helping the family, this accident at this time? And basically, the message is that we did not pay enough attention to you during this. And we should have paid more attention to your feelings. And it's basically saying, Carl, have you done any kind of therapy to relieve anxiety that might go long time to your childhood around this accident? That far?
No, because at the time it really didn't bother me because it didn't happen. It didn't happen to me. Somebody else had the accident.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't in pain. It didn't bother me.
Yes,
You
yes,
know?
I hear you. There's something about this accident that they're saying that might have impacted you, and something around this accident that needs to be brought up. And you say it didn't impact you, but there was something about feeling maybe like not listened to or not heard at that time, and that made you feel like somehow like, okay, what's he saying? It's not like you were unimportant. It was just that timing of the situation was that other person's, the accident, like you said, was to the other person, but you got impacted as well. So basically, it's just saying maybe you felt like, have you ever had a feeling, Carl, that you were not as important as other people?
Yes, I think we all have, haven't we?
Yeah, sometimes we do.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm a lot better now, and I realise I am as important as everybody else.
Well, that's good. That's good. So, but they're showing that that was some of the reason for, some of your, I don't want to say depression, but some low points. Basically, the message is that you are very much loved, and if you felt unheard or you lived, Carl. That's the message. You lived, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing, and that's a very, very good thing. And you have survived. And they're saying, don't ever feel anymore that that your life is not as important as others when you are stressed or when you're under crisis. Can I leave you with that, Carl?
You can, yes, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. I'm sorry I couldn't be more specific there.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's see. I have to go on to. Okay, my God. Steph, can I come to you, please? You got it. Yes, thank you, Steph. So as you saw, I sometimes see like objects, and then I'm being drawn to a scene. Steph, would a large basket, or basket weaving, a large basket, have any meaning for you? Because I'm seeing a very large basket. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what I'm seeing is that do you come from people who know how to make baskets?
Not that I know of.
No. Okay. Well, all right. So there is somebody who's showing me actually the weaving of this basket. Let me ask. This large basket. Do you have a lady in spirit that is an ant, like an ant? She's sort of chubby. She would have worn skirt, and she had rounded shoulders, and she liked baskets. This was not the only basket she had, and she's coming through. And do you know anybody that would have tied her hair back with a bandana like that? Yeah. Can you identify this, accept this spirit coming through for you?
Yeah, that's my aunt, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. So first she wants to say she loves you very much. And she says, Oh, so this basket she's showing me had several functions. One was to keep like a little, like, they're not very big blankets, but like they would roll up like fleece blankets or something and put
Mhm.
them in there. So she's basically saying, yeah, that, and then at other times, I think there were some dry vegetables, like not onions, but maybe something that was dry food put in there. Would you, yeah, so you can, yeah, you can identify. So there is, so she, your aunt is saying, Steph, or have you been gathering furniture to move or to give away at this time? Or collecting stuff to donate or something like that happening?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. She's saying that, I guess she's saying symbolically, just like that basket that had several uses. Life is about, you know, gathering stuff, finding a container, and then the container, you know, can be used for something else. So there's, your life is in a time of transformation and change. You may not keep everything that you have now, but you will keep what is good and comforting and beautiful. And you will be able to transport it just like you would in a basket to your next place. And it won't, whatever you left behind will not be a loss. And she loves you very much. Can I leave you with that?
Yes, you can. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right, okay, so Carol, could you give some feedback to Yashmin about your message, please? You're
Yeah, I know, I'm here.
Psychic?
Maybe. Let's hope. Feedback. Well, obviously my father's still with us on this side, and we did have a holiday, and it was down in Cornwall, in Polperro, I think it was, and it was like a little chalet on a holiday camp in the dunes. And my sister did have a fall, and she got, she fell out the top bunk and got a light bulb stuck in her knee, and we did have to go to the hospital and have it removed. But like I said at the time to the lady, it didn't happen to me. I couldn't feel a thing. You know, my sister was getting all the attention, you know, which is fine, you know, like a diva that she is at times. Yeah, I don't mind. I didn't mind. I was on holiday, plenty of ice cream and treats to go around. You know, it really didn't bother me over much. What else was she saying? No, it really didn't bother me at all. It made the holiday memorable for that reason. I mean, there were other nice things about it. I remember discovering cream teas and cream and jam on scones. I do remember that, which is quite nice. But yeah, is that what you want?
Yeah, thank you. Yep, thank you. Okay, Steph, can you give some feedback about your message, please?
Yes, Yashin, thank you. That was lovely. My aunt died last year, and we've been to like a circle with some family members. We had another loss in the family, my mum's aunt, not so long after, and we kind of didn't know if she'd come through. And she didn't. She was a very quiet lady, very rotund, always had her hair pulled back with a scrunchy, long hair, and probably did like basket weaving. She was very crafty, so you were absolutely bang on. Everything she did was the most thoughtful birthday presents. Everything was handmade. When my uncle was sorting out some of her stuff, boxes and baskets full of stuff. She was knitting knitting toys for less fortunate kids, for a dog's home, and just piles and piles of these things. Fleecy blankets always rolled up for the dogs, for this basket to be used for this, and the same, and then she'd reuse it for something. So every single thing that you said was completely spot on, and she was very much into remaking things and reusing things for other things, which I'm very passionate about. And recently I've had a small extension to my house, so I wasn't kind of aware of the space or what I was going to put in it, so I might have started to hoard things like chairs and side tables just because I didn't know, and had a move around in my whole house. So yeah, there's lots of things that are sitting about, I'm very aware, that need to go, and I agree, definitely in a transitional period. So I hear all of that, and I'm so grateful that you brought that up and brought her through, because that's really special.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Yashmin, I'm about to wipe the smile off your face.
Oh, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I'll smile back.
Okay. Second reading, spot on, brilliant, 9 out of 10. So that's the good news. Your first reading, though, you were structurally way off base because you forgot to do the most important thing. You forgot to get confirmation of who the message was from. You not only did you not get confirmation of who it was, but you assumed you knew who it was, and obviously it wasn't Carol's father. So because of that, your message then went sideways like that. You were drawn attention to the accident. Well, that's fine, you got that spot on, but you didn't use the accident to work out who it was that was coming forward. Now, clearly, you then interpreted the message as Carol needing the emotional support. Maybe he did, maybe he does, maybe he's hiding the fact that he doesn't, but I don't think he does either. What you should have done, I think, was, Carol, question for you. It was your sister in the accident, correct?
Yes.
Right. Think about your sister. Think about male figures around your sister. Did the description that Yashmin gave you, does that identify anybody on the other side?
Can you refresh my memory what you said?
Okay, what I said?
Yeah, about the spirit.
Okay, so I saw a spirit that had, it's hard for me to get, it's something that was sort of slim and had sort of straight blondish hair that was straight, coming down. That's the spirit I saw. And I thought I saw that it was a very kind person, caring person at that time. But that was pretty much all the description I gave, didn't I, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't recall any male members of my family or female.
Doesn't have to be a family member. Anyone associated with your sister in spirit that fits that description, even a friend that you're aware of?
No.
Okay.
I'm thinking of people who are blonde as well.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Okay, well, I've got a favour for you to ask. Assuming you come back next week, ask your sister. She's still with us?
Yes, she is.
Right. Ask your sister if she can identify anybody that fits that description.
Tall and blonde from when she was smaller.
No. Anybody now? Anybody. Could be somebody that could be somebody that she's known later in life.
Okay.
See, Yashmin, what was happening there was you were given the accident to draw attention to the sister.
Okay.
They don't throw things like that in just as, oh, there was an accident 25 years ago, unless there's a reason for it. And obviously the person involved in the accident was the sister. Now, okay, and Carol hasn't been able to identify anybody. So then you would ask, okay, is your sister still with us? Yes. Can you ask your sister if she can identify who this is? If Carol has said no at that point, then you should have pulled back and asked for another spirit to come forward until you got one that you could get verification from. If Carol has said yes, that was her brother-in-law, that was whoever, then you give the message, whatever message comes forward at that point. But because you hadn't identified who the spirit was, you couldn't make any sense of the message. You were trying to make sense. You were trying to make the accident fit, and obviously, from what Carol was saying, it didn't fit at all. If you see what I mean, you ended up digging a hole for yourself that you could have avoided very simply just by pulling back and bringing another spirit forward.
I have a problem doing that, right? I've had that problem before,
So
because when I see clearly, I like, why would I ask this person to draw back? Because I see them, but
because
yeah.
you don't have a connection. Remember, can I
Yeah.
work with you? Yes. Get verification of who the spirit is. If you don't get verification from the sitter as to who the spirit is, then you tell the spirit, you don't ask them, you tell them. Step back, see if there's another spirit coming forward. If no other spirit comes forward, then call out, see if, do an, like, I know I don't like calling out, but I will call out, see if anybody else can recognize it. And if the answer is, that is no, see if another spirit comes forward. If not, pull back.
Mhm. Okay.
Don't be afraid to do that. Because if you don't, you end up digging a hole for yourself.
Yep, I certainly do. Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Jackie, you want to have a go?
Could I just ask? Sorry,
Yes.
I don't know if that's allowed.
Yeah, of course.
Are you always sure that that message is for that particular person, or do sometimes people's messages cross?
They do sometimes cross, but they shouldn't. But they do.
Right.
I mean, for example, Jackie, you saw that happen to me twice on the church platform. I can't remember how many messages I gave. This was a church that I was working in at Thursday, which was close to Jackie. So Jackie came along to see me work. I can't remember how many messages I gave. It must have been somewhere between 25 and 30. In fact, it was probably more than that because I was going, I got, like, for example, I did about 6 in the last 5 minutes because I was running out of time. And there were at least 2 or 3 people that I went to. They couldn't take it. And then I called it out. And at least one of them, I think Jackie's husband took one of them, if memory serves. And somebody was able to identify it. Yeah. And there were about another 2 that couldn't. So I just, like I said, I just pulled back because what would have happened if I hadn't? I would have got myself in digging a hole the way that Yeshwin just did. Now, Yeshwin was lucky. She got a good, strong message connection to yourself. But usually if you get yourself into a hole like that and you then try and go to somebody else, that person then goes, oh no, you got that one wrong, therefore you can't have me. Whereas if you're just firm with the spirits and you pull back, another one will come forward. But yes, sometimes messages do cross. Usually it's somebody sitting around, like if it's 4 people in a church, I'll go to one person and it's the person next to them that should have gone. So you go like, can anybody around that person take it? No. Can anybody else in the church take it? No. Okay, pull back.
Okay.
Well, I probably should have gone to Dean because I got a message for him too. And I was like, on my screen, you guys are close, like one across.
Okay, Dean, just out of curiosity, would that message have fitted anything from your past?
No.
No,
Yeah,
I
okay.
had another message for him,
Right,
but
fair
I
enough.
was like, okay, no, I'll go to.
Okay, Steph?
See, I was going to say, if there was a reach, I could understand all of that in my scenario, person and everything. So that's kind of why I asked if there was a crossover. But
Yeah, okay. So, Yeshmin, just pick up, because that's actually quite interesting, because that makes sense, because Yeshmin came to you next and you were able to take the next message.
which is
So-
why I just wanted to check.
Yeah, so Yeshmin, back in there, get the connection, see if you can finish that message off.
Sorry to everyone.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
Steph, can I come to you again? Can I come to you? Okay. Now, can you identify that red hand pump that I saw in a place? No. You can.
Not-
It's not. Hmm.
Not the
Okay.
hand pump.
Okay.
Yeshmin, remember rule of 3.
What?
Give
Uh,
your own
yeah.
background metaphor.
Yeah. To me, it means something to me. So that's
Right,
something.
so work with it.
So, okay, so, Steph, back again. I've always been fascinated myself with with hand pumps and how you have to prime them before the water will flow. I've just been like, you know, because they're dry and sometimes you have to pour water down and then pump it up. And so that came through. So I am thinking that so you can identify the person around an accident, which part of it that you could identify, because I'm being shown the same scene, of course, and there is that, you know, rural area and this house that there's like, it's not like a lawn, it's like a yard, and this person coming through has that straight, sort of dark blonde hair. And he would be wearing sort of like a hat that's not straight. It's sort of like on the side, sort of like, I don't know what you would call it, but sort of askew like that. And he's a gentle person and he's kind and there's basically, he's saying that there was this is the first time I'm doing this like this from one person to the other. He's basically saying that I did not pay enough attention. Would that apply to you with this person? I did not pay enough attention. In this case, it would be you, Steph, because we were concerned about the accident and we did not see how it impacted your feelings. Can you take this coming as an apology from Spirit? From this gentleman? And would this gentleman have had some medical training or medical, it's not a doctor necessarily, but like trained like an army medic or something like that? He's coming through? Yeah, okay. So,
Paramedic.
Paramedic, yeah.
Paramedic, you use that word? Yeah.
Yes, paramedic. And he was trained to respond to crisis situations, and he did not pay enough attention. I guess in this case it would be you, Steph, at this time, but you got very hurt. Did you hide in a closet? Did you hide someplace or under someplace dark that they couldn't find you, that you got lost by withdrawing?
I was put in a very small bathroom, which was probably closet size, like
okay.
small.
And that was
outdoor.
very traumatic for you. And basically, it's an apology for from Spirit, from this person to you. And basically, I said this to Carl, but I'm going to give the same message. Like you prime a pump, there has to, and maybe there's some tears that were not shed over this or brought to the surface. And that if you prime a pump, you know how water comes up? I think that if you go back to that time, it might be an answer to something that is bothering you at this time. Do you have fear of dark or closed spaces or
closed spaces?
Yes.
Yeah, not so much dark anymore, but yeah.
Yeah. So basically it's an apology, and to say that, just to link that this accident and this closed space are related to this fear, and that if you wanted to overcome it, that this is the memory to go to, but it comes with an apology for not paying attention to you. And he's saying, I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I understood that.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Carol, obviously you don't need to check with your sister. Yeshmin, obviously that would have followed the same logic. Pull back, call out.
Yeah.
Okay, so double lesson there.
Okay.
Same rule. Get 100% confirmation of who the Spirit is.
Okay.
Before you give the message.
Well, maybe I should go to Dean then, because I had a mess. Let's
No,
see.
you're finished. You've given 2 messages. You've given 3 messages. That's your turn over.
I can't believe I'm begging to give another message, but I'll come.
Sorry, we've got 8 other people to work tonight. Okay, Jackie, your turn. 2 messages, 6 minutes, please. Your microphone's
with
off,
me.
Jackie. That's okay.
Okay, yeah, but bear with me. I'm see who's there. Won't be a sec.
Okay.
Can you come to Mike, please?
Yeah, sure.
Hello, hi. Bear with me a moment. I'm just drawn. I'm sorry about my voice. If you can't understand me, just ask me to repeat.
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
Okay, great. Okay, bear with me a moment. Can I work with you, please?
Yeah.
Okay, that's lovely. Thank you. Could I just say, around you, there's an awful lot of loved ones and spirits, and I just feel that. Thank you. I'm being told that you've actually touched, for some reason, you touched a lot of people's lives, and there's a lot of people on the other side who come to say thank you. And there's a lot of close ones and loved ones and friends, but there's also people that, I wouldn't say strangers, but your paths have crossed. Does that make sense?
I'm not sure. Possibly. Family that I don't know very well, yeah. Not strangers.
Okay.
They'd be family.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. And maybe I'm misunderstanding, but okay, no. Yes, I agree with what you're saying, but that's not just what I mean as well. Okay, I've got a gentleman here, first of all, and he's quite tall. I feel as if he's quite tall in height. And I feel as if he's got a presence about him that when he walked in the room, everyone knew he was there.
Yeah.
The way he come across and the way he was behind closed doors was of two different people in a sense. He could come across kind of authoritative or that type of thing in public. But when he went home, he kicked his shoes off as a way of, relaxing as such. And he was a lot more mellow. But that makes sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's lovely. That's the gentleman I've got with me who's talking. Okay. I can see that many people coming forward. I don't know why or where it fits in, but have you got connections or do you know someone that was connected with the fire brigade?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, the reason I'm saying that is I've got a fireman coming forward, and he's not a modern day fireman, if that makes sense. Its uniform is as it was years ago. He's just standing there watching and observing. There's people, this is a bit strange actually, and I don't know why I'm getting it, and I half expect you to say no to me. Do you know, or is there in your family a lot of people that wore uniforms, different uniforms?
Yeah, the guy that you're talking to, the first guy that you brought through would have worn a uniform. Yeah, it was quite high up in the army.
Okay, that's fine. Because I can see with, thank you, the people I've got around me, can I just say that there's quite a few educated people or career people around you?
Yeah.
Okay, and can I just say that within your family, it's important that you do something with yourself, make yourself someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Ambitious and set. Those are like, how can I explain? Like an undercurrent whereby it was an expectation that you were going to achieve.
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel as if when you were younger, you found that funny, and then you kind of, hang on, does that apply to me? I also feel very much that at one time when you were younger, when the realization come that that actually did, you kind of felt the pressure and you were like, no, I don't think. And there was a little bit of rebellion with you because of that.
Yeah.
And Could I just say that this gentleman saying that you're a bit of a joker on the side?
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah, and you've got quite a dry set. You've got, okay, thank you. You're saying you've got two types of sense of humour. You've got a dry sense of humour, but also at other times you've got a wacky sense of humour, depending on what mood you're in.
Yeah, and depending on the people, yeah.
Yeah, it's very much you adapt to who it is. And I feel very much that that's carried through to your work life as well. That you've got to adapt to who you are, depending on the situation and the people you're with. He's actually turning around saying he's actually proud of you because you forged your own way in the world. You didn't, okay, thank you. Would it mean something to you why he's saying he's proud of you because you didn't do it on anybody else's back? You've done it on your own.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And also that you went in a different direction that was expected of you.
Yeah.
And I feel very much that at the time there was a little bit of opposition to what you wanted to do. And you kind of had to stand firm.
Yeah, true.
Okay, thank you. And I'm also being told somewhere around your work that there's something to, you have a lot to do with people or people management.
Yeah.
And you basically, you're a good talker, a good communicator, and you've made your living out of that in some way.
Yeah, I do speak to people a lot.
Yeah, that's fine. And can I just say, I know we're not allowed to forecast fortune telling or anything like that, but yeah, it's something that you should be well aware of. You've actually been working to something to upgrade yourself in your career, or you're waiting for something to happen, for results or something like that. I can feel as if you're actually aware of what I'm talking about, not something that's going to be in how long. Can I say that you'll be successful this time?
Cool.
Okay. And can I just ask, is there somebody getting engaged or married around you?
Yeah, a couple of my friends are, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Because all I could see was lots of brides and grooms around you. And was there actually a joke? We'll all have a joke, a bit get married together and all have a big party.
Yeah, I think they have said that, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I'm actually being made aware of. Could I say there's major big changes around you at the moment? And you're just going to have to grit your teeth because on a personal level, you don't like change. And you're the type of person that you like to be in control of everything. But at the moment, there's things going on that the things are coming up one or the other that you're not going to be completely in control of. Just go with the flow. It will be fine. It will be okay.
All right.
And who's the person whose initial begins with an M for mother?
M for
mother, M for Mike, M for mother, M for.
What, in spirit?
I don't know. I'm just seeing the big M, and I feel it's quite relevant. Oh, I see your name's Mike, and I'm sorry. When I work, I don't really look at what's going on.
My great granny's called Mary, and she comes through all the time. Like if I get a reading, she's pretty much guaranteed to.
Which be quite small.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and she's quite chatty.
She is in the readings. I've never met her. She died well before I was born. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. She's here. There's so many people here. Have you got? I've moved to Wales, but have you got connection with Wales in some way?
Not Wales, Ireland. All my family, all the people in spirit, they'd be from Ireland. I'm from Ireland, but I live in England.
That would make sense. And it sounds like I'm making it fit, but I'm not. One of my close friends is from Dublin in Ireland, and she's just gone on holiday, arrived, and when we've been talking, and when we've been on the, she's been texting me, and she's Irish, so that would be. It sounds crazy, but that's the connection, and you can't get anyone more Irish, and she's just been saying it's only the ferry over, and it's only the ferry to come over, and I'm going to try to come to see you. So that I can accept. But when I'm saying that, if that's the situation, should you be going over to Ireland, or is there somewhere that you should be going and you're not going?
Yeah, I should probably go back more often, definitely.
Okay, because that's the reason, in a sense, to why it's come. And that I feel comfortable with that, although it's unusual. Could I just say there's one or two things you need to do, and in the nicest possible way, get off your backside and get it done?
Right.
All right, can I leave the love of spirit with you?
Yeah, that's lovely. Thanks, Jackie.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, Jackie, you're doing 2 messages.
Okay, yeah, just bear with me a moment, won't be a sec.
Okay.
Can I speak to Dean, please?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, hi, Dean. Can I come to you, please?
Yes, thank you.
That's lovely. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Could I just say, I've got a gentleman around you. He's standing at the back of you, and he said he was a joker. He really was a joker. I felt as if he could be serious when he needed to be, but he was a joker. He wasn't a joker where he was the life and soul of the party and cracking jokes. He would kind of set up situations that were funny, if that makes sense.
I can't figure out who that could be.
Okay, just bear with me a moment. When I'm linking into that, I'm getting 2 names, Mike and Dave. Can you relate to any of them 2 names?
Not at all. Nope.
Okay,
No.
bear with me a moment. Can you just bear with me a moment? Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you one more name to see if I'm with you. Do you know someone called June or Joan or June?
Both June and Joan, yes.
Okay, that's fine. I want a mic around one of them people.
No, not that I know of, because both June and Joan are my aunts.
Okay, and did they live a distance away from you or your family?
Well, they both live in the same city.
Yeah, but did you, okay, I don't know where you are, and I don't know how big the city is.
Right.
You didn't see that much of them. I
No.
feel as if they were a distance.
Okay, yes,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
Okay, thank you. And I feel as if the Mike or Dave were connected on that link. And it sounds like I'm making it fit, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, but I feel very much that I want to go in that direction with these 2 men.
Okay.
Okay, bear with me a moment to why they're coming through, because that's a bit unusual. Okay, also I've got a gentleman coming through. Is there somebody in your that you knew or connected with you or whatever that were connected with gardening or horticulture, nursery work, that type of thing?
Wow. See, not that I know of.
Okay, is there somebody that liked working in a large garden?
I do have family that live on farms, and they do have large gardens.
Okay, that's fine, because that's where I want, and that's what I'm getting, if you understand me. Okay. Could I also ask what there was some type of dispute within the family then going back? I feel when I'm looking at this, I feel as if we've got a photograph, and the photograph has been torn down the middle. And
Yes.
it's as if one side went one way and the other side went the other way.
Very much so.
I don't know if it actually worked, if it was made up, but if it was made up, I doubt very much, but it certainly is nowhere near like it was.
Right.
And I feel very much that this split within the family affected a lot of people's lives fundamentally and long term.
It
and
did.
yours included.
Very much so.
I've got a gentleman coming through who's at the now, and he's actually saying your life has been a lot harder because of that split in some way than what it would have been.
Okay.
Okay. And he's coming through with apologies. But a lady's just come through now and she said, but it's made him stronger. And he's now nobody's fool. Okay. And I feel, well, thank you. And what I feel very much is that it's really, really important that they tell you that you succeeded, that you're nobody's fool.
Oh, okay.
Because that is quite important to you, that you're nobody's fool. And they're not opening up any more than that. So I'm sorry, but that they're just telling me you'd understand now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I know you've got pictures in the background. Have you or someone got connections with photography?
I do myself. I take a lot of pictures.
Okay, that's fine. Because it wasn't the pictures that I've seen in the background. It was somebody holding up, and you must have been involved with it, or maybe it's showing it. They're showing me the black the negatives, the black ones, the brownie ones. And I can see lots of them, and I can see them being developed and things like that. I feel as if the photography is a passion, not just, oh, that's a nice picture. Do you understand me?
I do, yes.
Okay, and I don't know why, but have you ever taken photography of weddings?
No, I haven't.
Well, I'm being told and I'm being shown photographs, somebody photographing weddings.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if sometimes they bring this through, and I don't really want to open it up here because I don't particularly think it's fair. But if you're looking for an extra dimension or something, someone's saying you'd be very, very good at weddings.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Okay. And that is something that you wouldn't have expected to kind of be said, I'm being told.
Okay.
But you've got a nice way with people, and you can also organize people in a nice informal way, but get what you want.
Right.
I'm also around you. I can see quite a few dogs.
Yes, we had quite a few dogs growing up, yes.
Okay, and I can see quite a large black dog.
Okay. I don't have a dog personally.
Do you know where there's a large black dog though?
Yes, one does. It does ring a bell, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
And a golden, light colored golden type dog.
Right, my sister has one.
Okay, that's fine. And somebody's laughing and saying, you're lucky they're not wolves. And I don't know why they're saying that, because that sounds crazy. I'm in Wales and we don't have wolves.
Right.
But they're just saying, you're lucky they're not wolves.
Okay.
Okay, do you understand that or not? Because if you don't, I'll go back from
Well, it's kind of like in the area that my sister's in, there's a lot of wolves. There's cougars,
Okay.
wolves, bears, all kinds of wildlife.
That's fine, no problem. I just didn't make sense to me, and I wanted to make sure you understood it. That's
Right.
fine. Okay. Also, who is actually writes and has had work published? It may be just a newspaper, it could be just a poem, but I just feel as if someone's writing something and it's going to be or being published.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a bestseller. I'm just can see someone's proud of writing, and they said, and it got published, you know.
Okay, that's interesting because I know my nephew, like many years ago, when he's 30 now, but when he was 7, he wrote a poem and it was published.
That's fine. That's
Yes.
lovely. That's fine. So when I work, sometimes I don't like giving just things. I always ask loved ones to give something that not really most people would understand or relate to everyone.
Right.
Okay. And also I've got like decorative lanterns on my mantelpiece, but I can actually see a big lantern with candles in, and it's really dark. And I feel as if we lived in Kent, in the middle of nowhere really, and it was that dark. You're adjusted, but there was no lights anywhere. It was deep in the country. And I just see that situation, and if somebody holding up a lantern with a candle in.
That's interesting.
Okay, would that make sense to you?
I don't know of anybody, but I have a huge lantern with a big candle in it. So
Okay, maybe
I
that's
do.
maybe then that's what they're showing me, but I don't know why. Do you have it on where it's very dark then?
I do.
Because
Yes.
okay, that's fine. Because I could see it being really dark, no lights, and this big candle, you see.
Okay.
And I assumed it was outside, where obviously that's me. I'm sorry about that.
Right.
And also, I don't know if you like cars or you're changing a car or just changed a car, but I can see something like you're looking at cars.
Yeah, actually, I just changed over to winter tires on my car.
Okay, that's fine. And can I just say, it's where you're traveling, what I'm feeling, I'd rather I'll let you decide what it is. I can actually see a bridge where I've got to drive, and
Okay.
it's a very thin bridge, and it's as if you don't get it right, there's a big drop. Does that make sense?
That does not. No.
Okay, let me get a bit more for that. I can actually see a big reservoir or river, and it's deep down.
Okay.
And I'm unlike, I can actually see I'm on a hill or a mountain.
Yep.
And I'm driving, and you've got to drive very carefully, but I can see water under me. Does that make sense?
Well, I live close to a bridge, but it's a bigger bridge. You know, it's a big drop and that sort of thing, but it's like a 3-car bridge. So it's big. I don't know the small one.
No.
I don't know if
I'm
that.
aware of that, and that's a large bridge, and it actually goes for a large distance. And I feel when I'm linking into that, I can see wires or something on that bridge.
Okay, no, that
No,
doesn't.
that's not where I am then, because how I work is if I'm right, they'll give me, they just accept it. But if I'm wrong, if I think, yeah, so you say someone saying to me, yeah, and your loved ones go, no, they'll tell you something and they'll go, no, that's not it. And I feel that's the situation now.
Jackie,
Okay.
can you watch your time?
Could I possibly ask, have you had anything to do with San Francisco?
Not at all. No.
Okay, because I can see a large bridge, like one in San Francisco, someone's telling me.
Okay.
Could I say that you don't know a lot of your background, your family history?
Well, I do know quite a bit. I don't, well, I know there is some family in the States, but I don't know exactly where because they're distant cousins.
Okay, that's fine. I'm getting San Francisco around that
Okay.
area.
That could be
Okay.
a possibility.
Okay, and I don't know why I'm given that. Is someone looking into the family tree?
We all dabble in that a little bit.
Fine.
You know, the
Because
family.
they don't normally give me anything unless there's a reason. When
Okay.
I'm getting America, I'm getting like the ridges and high mountains, and I'm getting like a bridge for San Francisco, you know, with the like wires or,
Yes.
you know, poles coming at the top. Does that make sense?
That
Like a
makes sense.
suspension bridge rather than the base into the water. But I can see
Jackie,
water.
Jackie,
below,
can
and I
you-
can see-
Jackie, we're running out of time. Can you wrap it up?
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I just say to you, congratulations. Can I just say congratulations over something? Does you make something with work, or does someone connected to you make something with work? Because what I'm actually being saying, and I'm maybe symbolic, is a sewing machine and people making stuff. But I feel that's symbolic. That's the making of something that's successful, and it's come from nothing.
Yes,
So can
I do have some friends that do that. They make quilts.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And can I just say to you, congratulations.
Okay.
Okay. Can I leave the love of spirit with you and thank you?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. Okay, Mike, just quickly, can you give some feedback about your reading?
Yeah, I could take a lot of what Jackie said. There's obviously lots of information. the military around the family, but all my grandparents were in the military, grandfathers even. There was a lot of expectation on me after leaving college and stuff from my father, you know, what career, and I was delayed, probably a bit of a slow starter, but I've done very well. So that pressure was definitely there. And yeah, job changes going on at the moment that Jackie picked up on, it was spot on as well. There's lots of information there. It's just a synopsis of it because, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Dean, again, can you give some quick feedback?
Yes, actually, it was quite interesting. And actually, Jackie, I just thought of it now. When I was 7 years old, I had a great uncle named Mike, who passed away probably when I was about 9. So that's why I didn't remember who this person was. And I just thought about it. Yeah, that was my grandfather's brother. So now I know who Mike is. And he was actually a very nice man. He was comedic, you know, and that sort of thing. And yes, now I know who you're talking about. And
was he connected with them two ladies in some way?
that would have been his nieces.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes.
Thank you. That's just for me to, you know, thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that was very good.
Okay, Jackie. Messages good, evidence good, identifying good, but, big but, you've got to adapt to the environment. When I say 2 messages, 3 minutes, I'm not timing you tonight. We've done exercises where I do that on a Wednesday, but
Yeah.
you've got to, like, for example, in Chorley, I was desperate to continue. I could have given a message to another 10 or 15 people there. I had the spirits lining up to come through, but the chair was being absolutely, you maybe couldn't see it, but the chair was being absolutely firm. She told me I had 5 minutes. Okay, so I did 6 messages in 5 minutes, and then she went like that on the desk, and there was no confusion. I had to stop, or they were going to come and pull me off the platform. Private reading, somebody pays for a given time. You know what time you can work to. Church, you know that you've got 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Okay, you've got control of, right, I can do 1 message for 20 minutes and 1 message for 3 minutes. You're in control of the messages in that environment, but you're not in control of the time. So
Okay.
that's what you really do need to concentrate on. We'll do this, we'll do more of this on Wednesday for you. But in future,
Okay.
I don't care how much evidence you've got to give. If the chair is saying that's it, that is it. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you know that
Thank
yourself because you've worked on church platforms.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so everybody else, it's time to go jumping in the deep end. So who am I going to pick on first? Mike. Okay. So this is
yeah.
not your first go. I take it you did message. Did you do a message last week as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, more evidence and messages, but
That's
yeah.
fine. This is only going to be your third night. I'm not expecting you to reshape somebody's life. All I'm expecting you to do is connect, get evidence of who you've got, and then try and get a message. Now, did Taz work with you last week, or did you work yourself?
Yeah, Taz was giving guidance as well whilst we were giving our messages.
Okay, so right, you're going head first in at the deep end tonight. So I'm not going to help you at all.
All right, cheers.
Okay, so so you know how to do this. I'm not going
Yeah,
to
I'm
put
just
any limits
looking
on
at-
who you
I'm
can go to. So
Yeah, I'm
when
looking
you're
at-
ready, the only thing I would say, maximum 4-5 minutes.
I won't last that long.
You'll be surprised. Okay, off you go.
Is it all right to go to Dean as well, or is it? Do you
So you
need
can go
to?
to anybody you want tonight.
Can I go to you, Dean? Is that okay?
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Whenever I was scanning through the gallery and looking at people, I was getting a really strong sense of like law enforcement. Would you have a history of law enforcement in your family, or would it
Not
be
at
you?
all. Not
No?
at all. No. Well, actually, on my uncle's nephew on the other side of the family is in law enforcement,
Okay.
but not my family.
No. Okay. I'm not sure where I'm going with that then.
Okay, Mike, I said I wasn't going to help you, but I will. Rule of 3. I know you don't know what this is, so just follow me through.
Yeah.
You always give what you get first, which you've done. The sitter can't accept it. So look into your own history. Who do you know from your own past? It doesn't have to be somebody in spirit. It's not a spirit. It's just an image to give you some evidence. So who do you know or knew in law enforcement yourself?
My brother-in-law would
Right.
be the only person.
What are the identifying features of your brother-in-law? Just think of it like that.
Physically,
Okay, physically, mentally, what comes to mind about your brother-in-law?
short, bald, yeah, very lean. Scottish guy as well, so a really thick accent.
Okay, right, stop. Dean, is your brother-in-law in spirit?
No.
Did any of those physical characteristics identify with somebody in spirit that you could identify?
Most of my family and that are short. That's the only thing that came up. They're short and they're built like brick shit houses. Excuse my language.
That's okay.
You know,
It's okay, but you're being recorded for posterity.
oh, sorry. So yeah, that's all that comes to mind.
Okay. Now, do any of the people in spirit, any of your family members that fit that description, do any of them have a distinguishable accent?
No.
Okay. Right. So, Mike, you've got multiple personalities there based on that. So go back and see what else you get.
Okay, one of the getting Rose put in my head. Rose. I don't know if it's a name or if it's a physical Rose.
Do you mean rose or road?
Rose is in the flower.
Rose is in the flower. Okay. So, Dean, does the word rose or does the flower rose identify any of the people in spirit that fit that physical description?
No.
Could be working with flowers. Could be gardens. Could be the sound of.
Not that I know of.
Right. Okay. Mike, same as before. So the third rule of the rule of 3, which I keep talking about, is give your own personal experience or symbolism. Do you know anybody in spirit that you would associate with roses, or do roses mean something to you?
No, but it's quite odd that you've said that because my brother-in-law is a gardener, but I didn't put the connection there until you just mentioned that.
Okay. Right. So stop. So Dean, any of the relatives that this could be, or any of them gardeners?
No, but the rose means a lot to me. That's the flower I always go to. I give to, friends, family, everything. And it has something to do with my connection to Mary, the rose.
Okay. Now, thinking about your connection to the rose, does that take you to any of the relatives with the physical description that Mike gave you? In any way, even outside the box?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, right. So, Mike, you're still with your brother-in-law then. So, what other features of the brother-in-law come to mind? You got gardening. What else would you associate with him?
Personality-wise, he's very dry. He's teetotal, so he doesn't drink or anything like that. He's very, very square, if I was to describe him, if that makes sense.
Okay, right, stop. Dean, you're nodding. Does that identify somebody for you?
No, because most of my family, they're drinkers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said most.
Yes.
So which one with the physical description is teetotal?
Well, I'm the only one that doesn't drink. So
it's you then. Okay.
It's me. All right.
Right, okay. So Mike, what else do you get?
I'm drawn to September, month of September.
Okay.
So birthday, maybe?
So Dean, did any of these people pass in September, or did any of them have a birthday in September or a wedding in September, some kind of anniversary?
Oh gosh, none of my immediate family. September doesn't ring a bell.
Or the number 9?
See, I can't think of anything.
Okay, so Dean, same as before, what does September mean to you or to your brother-in-law?
September.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Sorry, I'm dyslexic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Right.
not sure when he was born or anything, so I'm not entirely sure
Okay.
what that means. Just
So what does September mean to you?
not a lot. There's no significance, I don't think, for me. Doesn't stand out as a month, to be honest.
Okay, so what else are you getting? We'll put September aside for a minute.
Not a lot, to be honest. I found that well this evening.
So are you getting nothing?
No, not well. Yeah, nothing at all. I don't
Remember
even feel
nothing.
like-
Remember nothing is something.
yeah, but last
So
week.
Stop for a second. Dean, did any of these relations suffer from Alzheimer's or dementia? That is
Yes.
spirit.
Yes.
One or more. One or more.
One.
One, right, stop. Mike, this always happens to me. When I've got somebody coming forward that suffered either from dementia, Alzheimer's, or immediate, like massive confusion of some way, I just get blank.
Yeah.
So we now know who we've got, assuming that you're getting the same interpretation that I do on that. Now, I may be off because everybody gets different things, but for the moment, let's just go with that. Do you get anything else just to confirm who we've got? See what else you get.
I'm feeling tense, like from the waist down. I don't know if did they have problems walking or anything. In the
Okay.
later stage of life. They did.
That makes sense. Very much so.
To the person that we're talking about.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay, Mike, I think we've got enough, but just see if you can get one more bit just to get 100% nailed down.
And the person, it's a woman, is that right?
Actually, no, it's a male. It's my father.
Okay.
Was there anything about him that was feminine?
Not at all.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Not
Right,
at
okay. So, Mike, again, as before, what does femininity mean to you? Does it mean something specific, an image, a feeling?
I guess just like caring and nurturing, I guess.
Okay. Dean, does that describe your father in any way?
all. Yeah, not really. He was very abusive, and yeah, he was.
Okay. Right, okay. Don't panic. We've maybe just moved into the message side then. Okay. But Dina, based on what we've got so far, are you happy with, forget about the woman for a minute. We'll deal with that in a second. Are you happy with that Mike's got your father?
Oh yes, very much so.
Right. Okay. So Mike, so you've got female or you've got feminine. So this is moving into the message now. See what else you get.
Maybe just I don't know if I'm making this up, but I feel a little bit sort of like time lost, maybe
Okay.
time lost, maybe not showing that feminine side to you in life, maybe.
Okay. That makes sense because the last year of his life, my dad was bedridden and he had Parkinson's, where he couldn't move any part of his body. So he was kind of basically trapped in his body.
Right. Let me just interject here for 1 second.
Okay.
Ian, is there a woman who is alive who looked after your father in his last year of life?
Yes.
Right, now stop. Okay, Mike, so we know who we're talking, we know who the message is about or for. It's not for Dean, it's for the woman that cared for his father. So what else are you getting?
Yeah, just that sense of lost time, I guess, is what I'm getting strongest, and it's still there. You know, normally,
Okay.
I think whenever we've done this before, if I give something and it's taken, it would disappear, but I'm still feeling that, which is,
Okay.
which is weird.
Okay, right, so Dean, can you identify lost time with this woman that was looking after your father in some ways? Any reason why she would feel that?
Yes, because this woman who took care of my dad was his sister, his older sister. And she spent a lot of time with him when he was younger. And now there was a lot of time in between where she didn't see him and that sort of thing. So there was a lot of lost time there, very much so. And, you know, she mentioned the day he passed away that, you know, she was happy to spend time with him and that sort of thing. So I can understand that very much so.
Okay, right, so Mike, see what else you can get now.
Yeah, nothing really in terms of feeling. It feels like it's
Okay.
actually feels like it's gone away, which is sort of, yeah, like the tenseness in my legs.
So would you describe it as a feeling of relief?
Yeah, or maybe just the spirit's gone as well. It just was empty now. That makes sense.
Okay, right, okay, so
I guess, can I leave that with you, Dean?
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Mike.
Sorry, it
Okay.
wasn't.
Dean,
Yeah.
don't say sorry,
No.
I'm not finished with you yet. Right, so Dean, some feedback, please.
Actually, Mike, you were spot on with a few things there. It took me a little while to figure out who it was pertaining to exactly. I never thought of my aunt per se, because my sister told me about, maybe about 3 weeks ago, that my aunt she's getting dementia and she moved to another home. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's who you were talking about originally, the one with dementia and that sort of thing. Right. So that kind of clicked in. So
Okay.
yeah, very good.
So the father's the bedridden guy, and the aunt would have cared for him.
Yes,
Right. Okay.
very much so. And she's my aunt, and she's the oldest in the family now, and she's, you know, now has dementia. So
Okay.
yeah, very
Okay,
good.
right, so Mike, well done. Now,
Thank you.
okay, very important lesson here. It's called the rule of three. Now, everybody pay attention to this. You do it in this order. You get the evidence, you give it to the sitter. If the sitter says, no, I can't take it, you then go into your own experiences. Now, do not get confused here. It's not a spirit, like, let's say you see your father and your father's in spirit. It's not your father coming forward to give you a message. It's somebody using an image of your father to get across the fact that it's either the Dean's father, for example, or it's something about your father that is pertinent to the spirit that's trying to give the evidence to the sitter, in this case, Dean. So, for example, my father was six foot 1 inch tall, died of cancer, was very thin, had a deep voice, very Scottish, and liked very particular types of music. I have had spirit come forward and give me my father, and they've just drawn attention to, it was his love of music, or it was his sense of humor, or it was his height, it was his physical. Just as Dean with the brother-in-law was able to get a physical description, not Dean, Mike, just as Mike was able to get a physical description of Dean's father, although Dean wasn't able to tie it down immediately. Then we got the dementia, which, okay, that wasn't the father, but we got the legs that clearly confirmed to Dean that it was the father. The dementia was about the woman. Now, that's my fault, because I was getting a wee bit mixed up between the message and the evidence. But it was all about the aunt who now had dementia. And the loss of time obviously applied to her losing time with the dementia as well. So That's the second bit of rule of two. The third bit, if you can't make anything out of that, then you look for metaphor. Now, usually if you're going to metaphor, it's fairly obvious. So, you know, cars zooming fast, going down the wall, you know, going on a skateboard down the hill at high speed. It's something like that. That's fairly obvious. In that case, you just go to the metaphor first. Quite often you're drawn to whichever one of those three it is. But if you can't figure out which one of those three it is, do it in that order. And usually you'll get it on the second, if not the first. Okay? So, apart from that, Mike, okay, I was holding your hand, but you got the message, you got all the bits of evidence, and you were able to put it together, okay, with my help. But well done. I mean, that was only your third attempt. And never say sorry, because you're only the messenger. You can only give what you get. Understand?
Yeah, understood.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Right, Dean, your turn to work. You've had lots of messages, so let's see what we can do with you. First off, I want you just to, how have you got the screen set up? Have you only got the people speaking, or do you have it in gallery view?
Gallery.
Right, okay. I want you to go to who you're drawn to. Now, it can be anything. It can just be the first person you look at. It can be a feeling that you're drawn towards them. It can be something that just draws your attention to the screen.
Okay, but guys, can you give me 1 minute? I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, I'll work with somebody else and I'll work with you when you get back then. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Carol, your turn. Okay, Carol, you've been in circle before. So do you feel comfortable working by yourself?
No, but I'm going to give it a good go.
Okay, now you follow very strictly the way we work. I mean, you've seen the way I picked Yeshwin up earlier. You ask the person if you can work for them. You must get a yes, both for legal reasons and because you're making a connection to spirit with that person. And it's a three-way connection. And many mediums forget this. They forget that they need to involve the sitter in that connection. Second, you give evidence of who you've got. So don't try and give the message before you've got a complete confirmation of who you've got, and then try and give the message. And I'll only step in if you ask me. Okay?
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
Right. Let's go, guys. Oh, I'm two people short. That doesn't matter. Who am I looking at? I'm drawn to Deb. Deb Riley. Can I work with you, please? Would you like to unmute yourself,
Oh,
please?
there we go. Yeah, yes.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, I was just drawn to your face in your little box. Okay. Let's see who wants to come through. I don't know who I've got yet, Debs, but I'm just going to say I feel like I've got a man here. I feel I can see like a man, like what I would call a sharp suit, like a tailored, well-tailored suit, and like a white collar and a tie, a red tie with maybe black stripes on the tie. Maybe even a proper hat, like a Homburg or a fedora. A very sharp man. He's actually doing a few bloody dancey steps. I haven't a clue what. Yeah, I know. I think he's just showing He's just showing me he was quite active. He's just showing, yeah, he's showing me he's quite active, and he can still rock and roll with the best of them. Is what the feeling I'm getting. Could you identify with a gentleman like this, please, Debs?
Yeah. Yes, I believe it would be my grandfather.
I don't need to know who it was, but
Oh,
as long
okay.
as you could, as long as you can identify who it was.
Yes.
Yes. Right. Let's see if we can get something else. Okay. Yes. Although he was doing a little dancey step, I do, to show how fit and agile he was, I do feel he could dance as well. I mean, no Fred Astaire or anything like that, but he could dance a lot better than other people could. And I feel there's like a lady who danced with him. Although he would have danced with his wife, I don't feel his partner that he danced with was his wife. I feel like he had a partner to dance with, as well as his own partner. Is this something you could take, Debbie?
Possibly, yes. Yes.
Okay, well, I know for myself, my father was like that. Although he could go out with our mum as his girlfriend, when a certain record came on, the glance across the hallway in the dance hall, and they come up and like they're Fred and Ginger to that record, then they go back to their respective partners. And if that happened to my mum and dad, it must have happened to other people. That scenario. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you can tell me? It's just coming and giving you love, lots of love, and there's something else in there as well. What is it? I feel like he's giving healing to some, bringing healing in. I feel like I want to say this gentleman is bringing in some healing for you and a younger member of your family. And it's more like the head healing, like the mental healing, like they could be in a depression or not happy in their mind. They need cheering up. They're just feeling a bit low. It's not a serious one. It's just quite a light one. They're not feeling the best they could be. Is that something you could take, Deb?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Do I have to go on further, Mark?
Give some meaning to the message, yeah.
Oh, meaning. Right. He's been healing in the younger member of the family.
Why healing? Ask the question.
Okay, why healing?
There's usually a reason why somebody needs healing.
I thought I said that. He's brought healing in because there's a member of her family that needs some healing because they're not in a good place in their mind.
Okay.
It's not a serious, deep manic depression or bipolar. It's just like they've been dumped and they need some upliftment. And
Okay.
I feel it's for a younger member of her family, like they didn't get picked for the football team and they're quite annoyed about it. That sort of thing, not serious, but a little bit of upliftment. Is that
Okay.
what you want, Mark?
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Deb, can you relate to that? Can you understand who that is?
Sure. Sure.
And can you follow that through?
Okay, so that might be like my granddaughter. She's like 15, and with the boys and that type of thing. So it could be something like that. And like my grandfather, like I know he wore suits on the weekend for church, and there was a facility. It was called the Polish Home, and all my uncles and everybody went there. And in its time, there was a lot of dancing and picnics and music and that type of thing. So he might have been dancing in his younger days. My grandfather's in his younger days. So
okay, right, okay. Any other feedback?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, right, Carol. For your first reading in the group, well done. And I wasn't giving you any help whatsoever, so again, very well done.
Thank you.
However, to pick up for the future, yeah, there's always a but. Spirit doesn't come forward just to say something like give healing. There's always a reason why they come forward. So one thing that you weren't doing, I don't think you were getting enough confirmation. What I know that you're going to shout at me that mediums don't ask for information. I'm not asking you. You did the right thing when you say you didn't need to know who it was. I'm not saying that you need to ask the person to give you any more information, although sometimes you do. But you do need to get at least 3 or 4 yeses during the message. Now, there's a reason for that. Remember I said earlier that there's 3 people in the connection. There's the sitter, in this case Deb, you, the medium, and obviously the spirit. If you say every 3 or 4 bits of evidence that you've given, if you get a positive confirmation back, that sends a message back to the spirit, and the spirit will give you much stronger evidence. And instead of just giving, you need healing, like if you had asked the question that I asked at the end, can you understand, can you put this into context? Can you understand what this is about without asking for all the feedback? If Deb has come back and said, oh yeah, that's my grandchild, right, then you put your hand up and you say, right, don't give me any more information. But you would have found that the spirit would have given you more information. I mean, it might very well have been, for example, I mean, Deb says it's sport. You said it was sport, didn't you, Deb?
What's that?
You said the grandchild, it was sport, wasn't it?
She's a teenager, and she's like, 15, with a boyfriend and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So in that case, Carl, you might find the spirit giving you more specific information. Like, for example, Deb just said boyfriend. You might have got, oh, it's a bad boyfriend. It's a bad relate. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not getting the message. But you might have got something very specific to give to Granny to go and have a word with granddaughter, if you see what I mean.
Right.
Okay. So don't be afraid. I know it's a thin line. You're not asking the sitter to give you information that you can give as evidence. But don't be afraid to ask them, can you put that into context? Do you understand what I mean? Yes, yes, yes. Because the more yeses you get, the more information you get. It's like putting fuel in the car, basically.
Yeah, so I should have said something like, you can understand somebody within your family needs a bit of upliftment at the moment.
Exactly.
Yes? Right, okay.
Absolutely spot on. Don't be afraid to put it like that. Don't be afraid to ask questions in a way that are closed questions, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I do know about this.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going over stuff that you already know about, but don't be afraid to do that in the message.
Right. Okay.
Because you're doing 2 things at the same time. You're getting positive feedback, and you're also giving evidence.
Okay.
Like the way that I did with Dean. Can you understand this person, there's somebody with dementia? Oh, yes. Spot on.
Yeah, okay. Right, thank
other
you.
Other than that, well done. If you don't do anything from this experience, take that away with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, Mark, what time do we close tonight, Mark?
Anytime you want to leave or until everybody's had a chance to work.
Okay.
But if you need to go, that's fine. But just Just remember to close. Excuse me, that's one of our circle members asking if she can join us. No, she's too late. Okay. Right, Deb, you just had a message, so your turn to work.
Okay.
Now, do you want me to hold your hand, or do you feel up to doing it yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I'm drawn to Yasmin. Can I come to you?
Sure, thank you very much.
Okay, great. I am seeing like a man, and for some reason I keep on getting like a either a 5'8" or a 58, the number 58. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, it does. I mean, that's sort of a medium height male. Yeah, I can take that. Mhm.
Okay. And I keep on seeing something to do with curly hair.
Curly hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. I mean, that's, I can take curly hair.
okay. All right. Let's see. So, something with rocks.
Rocks.
Rocks, like okay, so I'm blank.
Mhm.
So did this person have issues with memory or
No, I
dementia?
don't think so. The rocks, I mean, I was thinking, I thought I sort of had the person, but the rocks sort of confused me a little bit. Then I was thinking of somebody else. So, but I don't remember. Yeah, can't say something about memory.
Okay.
What color were the rocks though that you saw?
Gray.
Gray.
I
Could
keep
it
on
be?
thinking, for some reason, I keep on thinking Sedona. I don't know why. It just keeps on, Sedona keeps on coming, which will be red, but.
Donut?
Sedona?
Oh, Sedona. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But that would be red rocks.
That would be red rocks.
Right.
Okay, well, I mean, I was thinking transatlantics, somebody with the curly hair. But now I'm thinking, maybe it's something else, but I don't know anyone. I went to Sedona, but I don't know anyone else that went to Sedona,
Yeah.
but, and then we have rocks around here. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not getting anything else.
Now remember, nothing is something. Remember what I did with Mike. So it could be the same as me. When I get nothing, I interpret that as dementia, Alzheimer's, or confusion. So, Yeshmin, can you understand that about the person that you think you've got so far?
Confusion, I don't know. I mean, if I'm thinking about this person, I wouldn't have met him in real life. I've only seen pictures, and I know that he died of cancer. So I don't know if there was confusion. I have confusion about my link to that person and who he was linked to. I've been trying to get the DNA, figured out, and
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure, although I have
Okay,
some
but-
clues.
Okay, so you can understand the word confusion as opposed to his confusion,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, so Deb, see, nothing is something.
Okay.
Now, what else are you getting?
Um, something about a movie theater or the movies.
Movies.
Mhm. Does that make sense?
About this person,
Yes.
I don't even, I don't know. I don't know. Can't identify, movies, because this person died like
Now,
in the
remember, Yeshmin, it wasn't movies, it was movie theatre
movie theater.
or
Okay.
theatre. Two
A
words.
theater. Yeah, a theater.
Could be acting.
I have a few, I have few people that would have either, been in theater, but I don't know enough about this person to look at the theater part. I know that,
Okay, right. So, Deb,
Yeah.
whenever the sitter says that to you, you ask a question. Is there anybody else you know that could give confirmation of the theatre or the movies?
I don't. I mean, you
Right,
don't have to,
okay.
yeah, I don't.
Are you, Yeshmin, are you, with the evidence that Deb's given, are you happy to identify who you think it is?
I think it's my father's father, whom I never met. Curly hair,
grandfather.
5'8", yeah. Mhm.
Okay, right. So, Deb, now that we think we know who we've got, see what you can get for a message. Now, remember, the theatre might be part of the message.
Okay. I'm starting to feel, I feel hot. So something, let's see. Like, yeah, head pounding. And I feel
Okay.
hot. So, let's see.
So, Yeshmin, can you understand that?
Well, I mean, I can only say that maybe he was repressing stuff and he was feeling hot
I
about that.
remember, Yeshmin, we've moved into the message section. So,
Okay. Oh, about
you-
me? What is the
Like,
message
about-
then?
hot and head.
Hot head? Hot head?
Could be.
Hothead.
I was never told that he was a hothead. However, there was certainly, I mean, my God, all of my relatives are hot-headed. What can I say? I mean, like,
Okay, Deb, see what else you can get. Well, I think we're talking about you, Yeshmin. I don't
Oh,
think
me?
this is. Yeah, we're on to the message section. So, can you
Oh.
understand? Can you understand health, burning up, hot, and headaches?
well, I do have a special, it's a rare disorder where it's an autoinflammatory disorder. So I get hot and very cold, and I have like other illnesses that give me that. Then my husband says, that I don't have a thermostat, an inner thermostat. So there's some, element of, yeah.
Okay, so Deb, be very careful here because we're not medically qualified to diagnose. However, obviously, I know Yeshmin well enough to know that she could identify with those symptoms. So that's why I was prodding her a few times.
Yeah.
So see what else you can get about that.
See, you know, and it's hard too because I'm a nurse and I've been a nurse like all my life.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
So that gets in the
so-
way.
No, caveat to that, you are medically qualified then. I'm not medically qualified to give a diagnosis, and I'm not saying you can give a diagnosis,
Mhm.
but as a nurse, you can understand the symptoms.
Right.
Yes.
So just see where that takes you without giving a diagnosis, if that makes sense. I know that's walking a tightrope, but
Mhm.
see where it takes you.
So it, some type of like auto.
It's an auto-inflammatory rare disorder. It's called, I'll tell you what it is. It's called familial Mediterranean fever. It's
Mm,
rare, but it's a genetic disorder. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I have
again,
nothing.
anything at all? Anything at all
No.
there?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well, if it is about my disorder, I've been very, very sick, and I did go to Sedona to seek, you know, more spiritual connection and healing to the Red Rocks, you know.
The
And
Red
I
Rock.
did, yeah, and I did go see a psychic who gave me some insights. So yeah. So there was, I mean, you are referring, you are not far from the stuff I've done, but I don't understand, you know, how it really directly applies to me. If it is my grandfather's father, of course, he would have passed on the genetic mutation to
Yeah.
my father and then to me. And
Mhm.
then I did go, like I said, for, and I watch a lot of movies. I mean, I have a lot of escapist tendencies, and one of the things is like movies, and it's
Mhm.
always been like that. So yeah. And I did used to act. I don't know what else. I mean, you know, not professionally, but years and years of just, you know, just theater, community.
Okay. Right.
And
Okay.
movies. Plus, I live in a place that's a movie set for all the, you know, we don't like it, but it's good for the town, and everybody is coming here to shoot movies. So
Wow.
it's an old town, and nobody has the money to, you know, make anything of old buildings. So, you know, we're the Wild West, and just everything's a background. So yeah, yeah. But I don't know anything more, Deb. I mean, it's interesting. You definitely found a lot of very relevant kind of details there.
All right. Well, good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, Deb. No, well done. I mean, it's only your third circle. It's only your third message.
Mhm.
So with virtually no help from me, you've been able to give enough evidence to identify who. You've given evidence of something that is going on in Yeshman's life at the moment. And okay, I knew about it because I could put two and two together. Like I say, though, you've got to be careful with symptoms. No, there's no problem. If you're getting a symptom, the way you word it is, can you understand, like, let's say it's a sore arm. Can you understand a broken arm or a sore arm, or maybe something on the right, say it's your right-hand side, something on the right-hand side? You as a nurse might be able to identify the symptoms of something very specific, but
Mhm.
you don't diagnose it under any circumstances. If the person says, yes, as Yeshman did, I suffer from da 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 da,
Mhm.
Spirit will very often direct people to you for a specific reason. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you as a nurse 20 years ago came across somebody that suffered from that exact condition, and the doctor said, try this vitamin or whatever.
Mhm.
It's okay for you as a nurse in those circumstances to say, well, actually, I'm a nurse, and it's funny you should say that you suffer from ABC, because 20 years ago, I came across somebody with a doctor, blah, 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 blah. So, for example, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I often get people that come to me for messages. I give them symptoms. They give me confirmation of and I can tell like that they're suffering from hyper, what do you call it? I can't even remember what it's called.
Hyper and hypoglycemia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I know instantly. I just ask a few questions. Are you very thirsty? Yes. Are you going to the toilet all the time? Yes. I'm not going to diagnose them as a diabetic because I'm not a doctor, but I will say to them, look, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and before I got diagnosed, I suffered from those exact symptoms. I'm not saying you're a diabetic. I'm just saying you should maybe go and get your sugar level tested, or let me stick a needle in your finger and I'll test your sugar for you while I'm here.
Right.
So it's a thin line, but as a nurse, you can cross over it more than I can as a non-medically qualified individual outside of diabetes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's in the wording. It's in the wording.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the wording.
Okay. And can I just ask real quick, like what could I do when I'm not in circle, like on days I'm not in circle?
We're going to cover that at the
Yeah.
end. So hang
Okay.
around for the end.
Okay.
Okay? Because
All
we
right, thank
need to
you.
start. The people that have joined up to the circle need to start gearing up a wee bit, and
Okay.
I'm going to do a wee 10-minute section at the end, so don't disappear.
Okay, good. All right.
Thank you, Deb.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Dean, your turn now.
Okay, good luck, guys. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So
Never done this.
look at the gallery view and who are you drawn to? Just immediately look at it. Who are you drawn to?
Okay, I would have to say Jackie.
Okay, so ask Jackie if you can work with her.
Jackie, may I work with you, please?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay.
All
Now,
right.
Dean, I want you to do this exactly as I tell you.
Okay.
Everything that comes into your mind, I just want you to say it out loud. Anything, whether it's a thought, whether it's something you see, whether it's a feeling, whether it's an urge, whether it's an emotion, whatever you get, just tell me what it is.
Okay. I for some reason I'm getting scribbling. Like, you know how I guess when you're trying to connect or something, you scribble on a pad or paper or something, or writing or.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you getting an urge to write something?
Me?
Just now, you said you got scribbling.
Yes.
Are you
Okay.
getting the urge to write something?
No, not really. No.
Okay, right, fine. So it's just scribbling by itself.
Yes.
Right, okay. So, Jackie, you know what I'm going to ask you. Can you associate anybody with scribbling?
Does that make sense?
No, I can't, but I do automatic writing.
That-
And I'm also
yes.
doing a lot of writing because I'm studying at the moment.
Okay, that's what I was thinking was, you know, how you, a
Okay.
psychic or so, what they sit and they scribble or they do whatever on paper, then that
Yeah.
connects them
So,
somehow.
Jackie, when you're doing that, is there a particular guide or spirit that comes forward and does that for you, with you?
No, but when I was doing my meditation before, I said that someone had passed over, you know, that I hadn't seen, whatever. Husband in, he'll go, oh yeah, it was Mick Mongan, and he was a medium. And I sat in a private circle, like in a sense, this where you do experiments and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I actually done psychic writing right at the beginning. And I come from Liverpool, where this was in Preston, Lancashire. So people were I didn't know these people as such. And the writing and what I wrote was identical to what his dad wrote and left the family, but it was stolen in a burglary. And apparently I wrote what was identical. It went right around the family and everyone vouched it had to have been from the dad. So
Okay,
from Nick,
hold
I
on
got
to that
from
for a
Nick.
second. Dean, see if you can get anything else to confirm if it's this spirit. So just what comes to you next?
Okay, for some reason, I'm getting lily of the valley. I don't know what that means.
It does to me. Yeah, it does, but it's not with Mick, it's with my mother-in-law.
Okay, right. So that's something that does mean something in Britain. So very unusual for you to pick that up from America. So what else are you getting?
Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I'm picking up a monastery. Well, I don't know why I'm picking up monastery. That's
That's
weird.
fine. it's a memory. I went with the school to a monastery on Ilkley Moor in Yorkshire, and I went with the year above me, and I knew nobody at all. They were all a year older than me, and I had the most fantastic time of my life in a monastery. Weird,
Wow.
but it's true. Yeah.
Okay.
And not that long ago in the summer, I took my husband there and showed him the monastery.
Oh, is that something? Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, so
Um,
what else?
No,
Is there something about a seaside? Is this monastery by a seaside or something?
no, but I've just moved with it within the last year, and we live right on the sea,
Oh my gosh! Wow,
within
that's
within 100 yards of the sea.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Remember, Dean, those of us in Britain are living on an island.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't know. I have no idea. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm in Canada. I don't know that. No.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I don't know what else.
Right, now you've got lots of evidence about Jackie, but you're not getting very much to confirm the mother-in-law. So just in your head, just ask the spirit to give you something to confirm who it is. Just ask her mentally and see what you get.
Okay. Hmm. See, I'm not picking anything up actually.
Nothing is something. So, Jackie,
Yes.
can you understand? Same as before. Can you understand dementia, Alzheimer's, or confusion with the woman that we think it
No,
might be?
I can't. No, I can't. But what I can say indirectly, she had motor neuron disease, and it happened very, very quickly, and she was not able to speak. So
Okay.
Oh,
So it's not
that was
Alzheimer's, but it's dumb. Not dumb, but yeah, not being able to speak.
She
Right,
had
so-
tubes in the throat, and God knows
Yeah.
where else for breathing. Yeah.
Okay, so Dean, spirit will sometimes use something like not getting anything to mean something, and
okay.
it will mean something different to each medium. To me, as I've said, it means Alzheimer's, confusion, dementia. For you, it would appear to be an inability to speak. So that's 2 bits of evidence you've got about the woman. See if you can get a third one.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. That's kind of I'm on the spot. I got just
Now, why did you say yeah?
no, because I feel like I'm on the spot, which I am.
That's stop. That's a feeling.
Oh,
I
okay.
said at the beginning, give me everything, including feelings. So, Jackie, can you understand that sort of feeling of being on the spot about your mother-in-law?
No, but I don't know open family business up too much, but something happened when my mother-in-law died over finances with my in-laws. I sorted it all out, and my father-in-law's only passed within the last couple of months, and we're sorting out the finances from obviously both of them because my father-in-law's just passed away. And my sister-in-law tried to act clever. I brought the bank in on Friday, put them on the spot, and I tell you what, she was still telling me, typing, I'm not going to the bank. And the bank was ringing me saying, I've got your sister-in-law here. Does that make sense? So she was really put on the spot because she kind of panicked and got to the bank damn quick, but was typing to me, I'm not going to the bank, but was standing in the bank when she was doing it.
So, standing on the spot. Exactly that phrase.
Yeah.
Okay, Dean. So there you are. You've got confirmation. Now, ask the spirit, ask the mother-in-law why she's coming forward. Just the same way that you asked for evidence. You're on mute again. You'll need to unmute yourself, Dean.
Know how that happened. I don't know. I'm not picking up anything, actually.
Okay. Well, I'll let you off. So just ask Jackie if it's okay to leave the love of her mother-in-law with her.
Jackie, is it okay to leave the love of your mother-in-law?
Yeah,
with
that's
you?
lovely. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jackie, do you want to add any more in the feedback?
Yeah, it was very, very good. It's quite a complicated situation. So you picked it up really well, if that makes sense, because it's not run of the mill. And as I say, it's tying up things that happened when my mother-in-law died.
Right.
So, you know, and I was very, very close to my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. So, you know, I'd expect them to come through and acknowledge it.
Nice.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Dean, well done. I mean, that was your first attempt. How do you feel?
I'm still shaking.
Yeah. It's not easy.
No.
Nobody said doing this was easy.
Exactly.
But you can see how Spirit is connecting with you, how they're giving you evidence. You've got to work to put it together sometimes.
Right.
And you've got, it's a journey of self-discovery, because Spirit communicates with everybody differently.
Right.
And that's why a circle is so important, because by doing it on a weekly basis, you learn how Spirit are communicating with you, as well as learning how to make sense of it. Like,
okay.
I just sort of like prodded you a few times.
So do you think that we should be meditating more or something to?
Yes, I'm going to cover that at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Right, so I think we've still got a couple of people to go. Susan, you still here?
I'm still here.
Hi, Susan. Okay, so your turn. Now, you've only done this once, so I'll work with you. So same as before.
Okay.
Is your screen on gallery view so you can see everybody?
Not at the same time, but I can flip on over.
Yeah, so just flip through everybody and see who you're drawn to.
Steph.
Okay, so ask Steph if you can work.
Steph, can I come to you?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, that light was really bright in my eye.
Okay.
Okay. So right now I'm seeing a one of those timers, the sand timers. I forget what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually have like a minute. Like an hourglass shape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean anything?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, you would normally have that with a piano. So, Steph, do you know anybody that plays a piano in Spirit? You know, timer.
No,
or
not really.
somebody that cooked that's maybe timing eggs, as an example.
Possible home cooks.
Okay. So Susan, getting anything else?
Well, so I saw like the like in outer space, Saturn, the just like a picture of Saturn, you know, with the ball with the ring around it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that mean anything?
Possibly.
Now,
Okay.
Steph, does that tie into the person that did the cooking?
Yeah, could do.
Okay, right. So Susan, see if you can get something else about this person.
I'm seeing like a really sharp chin, like a really deep chin, like real long.
I don't know what you mean.
Like, you know, like the witches, you know, like pictures of witches, they have like real long chins. Not that this was a witch or anything, but that's what I'm seeing.
Hey, Steph, can you tie that into the person?
Yeah, well, I could, yeah.
Okay.
Right, so Susan, you've given 3 bits of evidence. Steph, are you
Okay.
happy with who Susan's got?
Yeah, do you want me to elaborate?
No,
Possibly?
just you're happy that Susan has
Yeah.
identified a spirit for you, right?
Yeah, I think
So
she's
well
on the
done,
right line.
Susan. Okay, so see what you can get for a message.
Okay. So I'm not really getting any pictures. I'm just getting like shapes, like real sharp
Okay.
angles.
Okay,
And let's see.
right, Susan, don't close your eyes when you're trying to do this. Look at a picture of Steph.
Okay.
It'll make it much easier to get the evidence. What's coming through now?
I'm not really sure.
So
I've
not
always
sure.
closed my
Okay.
I've always closed my eyes when I needed, you know, just
Yeah.
answers or whatever. Okay. So this
Now
is
you
new.
said you're not sure. Are you getting a feeling of not being sure?
No, I'm myself just not sure.
So that again, that's still a feeling of confusion. Is it yourself that are you saying you're not sure about something?
Just because I feel like I'm not seeing anything. I'm not feeling
Okay.
anything.
Right. Okay. So Steph, again, this has come up multiple times tonight. Seems to be a common theme. The person that you think it is there anything about the voice or Alzheimer's or confusion or blankness that you can associate with that person?
Yeah.
Right now,
I just
you-
got a sorry, I just got a
Okay.
picture of somebody like going like this, you know, like real crazy. Their head was moving real fast. But their body was still.
Mm-hmm.
Does this
Does
make
that mean
sense?
anything to you?
Yeah, yeah. I can kind of relate that.
Okay.
Okay. So you're happy who Susan's got now?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Susan, see if you can get the message. And again, look at Steph as you're getting it.
Okay.
Remember, there's a reason for this. There's 3 people involved in the message. There's the sitter, the reader, and the spirit. Now, if you're trying to give me a message and I'm sitting with my arms crossed like this, I'm blocking you, haven't I?
Yeah.
So if you're sitting trying to give a message like this, you're doing exactly the same. Most mediums don't realize that when they're doing it, and they're cutting the right arm off.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Right, so see what's coming through in the message. So what are you getting? Just talk.
I don't really know.
Now, when you say you don't know, is that a feeling of you don't know? Or is it?
No, it's just me giving you an answer. Because
You must have something, even if it's nothing. Nothing is something, as I keep saying.
okay.
So what have you got? What have you got?
Um,
Don't rule
I had a
anything out.
I had a feeling like when I swallowed before.
Uh-huh.
So something with my throat, maybe.
Okay. So,
Um,
Steph, can you understand? Do you have a problem with your throat just now?
My dad does,
Your dad does, right?
Okay.
and I think this is all centered around him.
Okay. So, Susan, what else are you getting?
So now I have that feeling of like when you go down a roller coaster, you have that feeling in your stomach or your chest, like a surprised feeling. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you, yeah, it's like when you go down a roller coaster or something. Maybe it's in your stomach.
Steph, can you understand that?
Like an anxiety,
Yeah, that's
or
yeah. I was just gonna
butterflies,
say.
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, direct question, Steph. Do you have anxiety about your father just now?
I don't, but he really does about his health.
So it's himself that he's the one with the anxiety, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, Susan, you've been drawn to somebody with an issue. What else are you getting?
Maybe he needs to get that looked at, like his and something with the chest. I think that's really important. That's what I'm getting right now.
Bang on.
Okay. So,
Bang
without diagnosis, Susan, what else can you get? Let me ask you a
Um,
question, Susan. Are you getting a message that Steph's father is not looking at it? For example, I'm not trying to feed you. I'm just asking you the question. See if you get anything about that.
Just feeling like it should be looked at, and it's not getting looked at right now.
Spot on.
All right. Sorry for stepping in there, but I was getting that message as well.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right, Susan. He's
Okay.
had this cough for a long time, and he's still waiting, and they still haven't looked at it. And he's banging, trying to get it looked at, and they're still not looking at it. He's had it for about 14 months now.
Yeah, I would, second opinion.
Yeah, I've said that.
Number
Thank
2
you.
just came in my head.
Yeah, I keep saying that to them. Go to another doctor. Yeah.
Yep. You know your own body, so, or you know,
Right.
he knows his own body, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Steph, thanks for the feedback. Okay, Susan?
That was perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, any questions, Susan?
Nope. I'm a little happier than I was when I first started this. So.
Right, now that's, okay, I know you were here last week, but that's the first time I've worked with you. So I've already given you the feedback, but in future, I don't want to see you closing your eyes.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it. I won't now.
Right, now second, this is more technical than how to give a reading. But when you're working on Zoom, it's same as like, you know, don't close your eyes. You've got to see the sitter's got to see you for the connection. Zoom doesn't work any other way. I don't care what phone mediums say. I don't accept that. So if the light in front of you is too much, get a softer light or get a light behind you. For example, although you can't see it, I've got 2 lights on my desk. So I know I'm a bit over light, but I can make them dimmer. So for example, I just made my light much dimmer. You can get them on Amazon for £20.
Well, normally I'm not in my car. I ran out of time, so.
Okay, fair enough.
So normally I wouldn't be in my car next time. That won't happen.
Sorry, I didn't notice you were in the car, but fair enough.
No, that's
okay.
all right. I borrowed a flashlight, so.
Okay, any questions before I move on?
No.
Okay, sorry, so well done. Now, before anybody else gives another reading, Ivy is a little bit late, and I'm going to put her into the corner and not let her work tonight, but you just want to quickly introduce yourself? She needs lessons in timekeeping, but that's another message for another day.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I was having issues last week, so my apologies on that accord. I know I've been working on and off with Mark here for the better part of a year now. And I know I had to take a hiatus or two, but he's always great to work with, and everyone I've come in contact with the circle is very touching and very inspiring. And they're great. No, I'm sorry about running late.
Okay, I'll let you, so for those nice words, I'll let you off. I might even let
Thank
you
you.
work at the end if I've got time. Okay, Dean, Dean, you've given a message, haven't you, Dean? Yeah, you've given a message, Dean. Steph, you've still to give a message? Right, so take your mic off, Steph. Right, so have you ever given messages before, Steph?
Nope.
Okay, so you've pretty much seen the way that we're working. So are you on gallery mode?
Yep.
So who are you drawn to?
Ironically, I've been drawn to Susan all night, and I know she's just given
That's
me a
fine.
reading. Is that still cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So ask Steph permission to work.
I'll ask Susan. Susan,
Sorry,
is it
Susan.
okay to work with you, please?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Apologies, I literally am dyslexic, so you're going to have to get used to that with me when you work with me. Okay.
It's all good.
Right.
Our names are interchangeable. Happy days.
Right, so Steph, exactly as I did with everybody else, what's the first thing that comes into your head, or your body, or your feelings, or imagery, whatever?
I get a real feeling of like happiness and
Okay.
like peace.
Okay. So Susan, can you understand somebody on the other side who was very happy and very peaceful?
Yes.
Right, hold it at
Think so.
that. Okay. Steph, what do you get next?
Getting a feeling of I want to say a woman or like a feminine energy, really like caring, mothering kind of energy. Does that sit with you?
Yes.
Okay. So what else, Steph?
I don't want this to sound offensive, but I get this like voluptuous kind of cuddly, like again like an apron around her waist.
I don't know about that.
Okay, right. So Steph, remember the rule of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody in spirit that could be an image of?
Yeah, so maybe like a grandmother. Maybe that's
Right.
bringing my grandmother's.
Okay. So Susan, is it your grandmother that you think you've got?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So Steph, you saw the way that worked. Rule of 3,
Yeah.
give what you got, couldn't take it, go into your own contacts, your own imagery, grandmother, straight away. Now,
Yeah.
are there any features about your grandmother that stand out or come to mind when you think of your grandmother?
Yeah, so this cooking aspect, like wanting to feed everyone all the time.
Okay. Susan,
Does
that describe your grandmother?
No.
No.
Okay.
She really didn't.
Okay.
Really didn't like to cook. My pop-up did that, so.
Okay.
Okay. Steph, anything else about your grandmother?
This is going to sound weird. I keep getting this like red and white check, like that kind of material, but like a gingham, like red and white check. I don't know where that's coming from.
Okay. Susan, does that mean anything?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
Right. Okay. Steph, what does that mean to you? So go to your own experience first. If that doesn't mean anything, think metaphorically. What does that mean to you metaphorically?
It's just, I just keep getting like kitchen. So maybe it's not necessarily cooking. Maybe it's more the like family aspect of the kitchen, like everyone being.
You mean like the Waltons?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like everyone being in that eating family scenario.
Yeah, she actually had a TV in her kitchen, so we spent a lot of time in her kitchen.
Okay, so that's kind of where you'd all get together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so Susan, are you happy with Steph as your grandmother?
Yes.
Okay, right. So Steph, now that you've got a positive identification of who the spirit is, let's see what you can do with a message. So what do you get next?
I just keep getting lots of love, and you're really pretty, and they're really happy that you've turned out like the way you have.
So I took care of my grandma for about 2 years before she passed away. So when you said before that she, caring and everything, she was carrying herself, but I did take care of her for 2 years before she passed.
Maybe it was the caring for her that she wanted to express, but she's like this I feel this overwhelming, like all I keep hearing is like love, and like you're so pretty and so pleased that you've like turned out how you have. Like it's like overwhelming.
Okay, anything else?
And I thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Susan?
Mama.
Okay, well done. Susan, feedback, please.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that was my grandmother. I think she came last week as well, but I didn't know that was her. But so she's probably trying to hurry up and get down in there.
That's cool.
She was a lot of fun, very fun loving and everything. She was usually the life of the party, even when she was older. So, and she was caring, and I cared for her. I was the only one out of all the, her grandchildren and stuff. So she, at some point, it seemed like she was taking me for granted because, I wasn't getting paid for taking care of her, but I had lost my shop at the time, so I wasn't working. So I had the time, but I had no money on top of it. It wasn't until a little bit later on that she, finally decided to, tell me that she appreciated me and what I was doing for her and everything. So, but yeah, that was probably her.
I felt like I wanted to squeeze your face, like, like there was that much love that was coming in. That was so nice.
Okay. Right, Steph, well done. I mean, that's the first time you've given a message. You were able to give 4 bits of clear evidence to identify who it was. Okay, maybe a bit light on the message, but come on, this is your first time you've done it. I'm not expecting you to change somebody's life around on your first message. So very, very well done. How do you feel?
Yeah, good. It's strange, but nice. Like I feel like there could have been more, but that was good. Literally it was the feeling that was overwhelming rather than a message,
Yeah, but Steph, every medium gets things differently. For example, when I was on the church platform in Chorley, when I was talking about earlier, I gave a message to somebody and I literally couldn't speak because the emotions were so overwhelming. I had to keep asking the spirit to take it back. I mean, it was actually getting embarrassing because I had to, 3 times I had to say, just a minute, to get the spirit to take it back so I could articulate the feelings that she was trying to put across.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very simple message. It was very similar to the one that you just gave. can't remember the exact words of it, but basically, if memory serves me right, this may have actually been at the private event I was at the day after, but basically the spirit had been getting the person that was caring for her confused with somebody else.
Right.
And the person that had been doing the caring had been feeling extremely awkward as time went by. And obviously the person that had the dementia couldn't, you couldn't correct him, etc. And this was just the spirit coming forward to say, thank you for caring for me. Thank you for letting me think you were the person I thought you were, and sorry for the way that I made you feel. It was a very simple, straightforward message, but it was so emotional. It took me forever to try and get the spirit to take it back so I could get the words out. So you might have that problem moving forward. You just have to learn to ask the spirit, once you get the feeling, to take it back so that you can articulate it and make sense of it.
Yeah.
But that's a good, but if you are getting that, that's good, because that's a very good sign that you're getting evidence. You just have to learn how to use it and how to interpret it.
Yeah, thank you. And just to confirm to Susan from the message that she gave me, I feel like she was bringing through my dad's parents, and that was the message for me about him, kind of thing. So, you know, really equally impressed with what Susan did as well.
Okay, right. Very quick show of hands. Has anybody not had a message tonight? Everybody's had at least one message? Put your hand down, Ivy. You're in the corner.
Except you, Mark.
Yeah, forget me. But everybody else has either given a message or had a message. Right, okay. So we're going into classroom mode. So everybody pay attention. I want the people that are either in the circle or coming back to the circle to do two things. First, get onto your music player, whether it's Amazon or whatever, or whether you store tracks on your phone, and put together a music playlist that lasts for between 10 and 15 minutes. Now, these are songs that you feel comfortable with. These are songs that make you feel relaxed. I have a playlist and I'll put it into the group. I mean, I have done it before, but I'll put it into the group. You're welcome to use that list if you want to, but that's music that I've chosen for myself. Then once you've got your list together, on a daily basis, I want you to do a meditation listening to that music. Now, be absolutely clear, you're not going on a guided meditation. You're not trying to get messages from the other side. You open, you ground yourself, you open, you listen to the music. At the end of the music, you close, and that's an end to it. If you get a message from it, that's fine. Have a notepad and feel free to scribble it down. But you're not going looking for messages. You're just getting into the practice of meditating on a regular basis. Do it at the same time every day, like whatever your schedule allows, whether it's first thing in the morning, last thing at night, middle of the day, whatever's appropriate for yourself, but do it on a regular basis. And as time goes by, we'll start taking that up a level in terms of what you're doing when you're doing your meditation. But for now, it's just relax and meditate between circles. Okay, any questions before we close down? Right, so I'm going to take you through the closing. That's where you're telling Spirit that you're closed. We'll then do a closing prayer. And then anybody that is not in the circle on a regular basis that wants to ask any questions and figure out if you want to come back, hang on for 5 minutes at the end once we've done that. Everybody else, you're welcome to hang on if you want, but you're released at that time. So if everybody just sits and relaxes, close your eyes. Now just picture yourself again in the top of Big Ben. The light is still coming through. So put your hand out to Big Ben, just hold it, stop it swinging, stop it ringing. And the sunlight is now pulling back and being replaced with moonlight. And just turn around, walk down the spiral stairs again. And when you get to the foot and you walk into the halls of Parliament, just close the door behind you. And you are now closed. Now, if everyone would please join me for a closing prayer. Dear Father, Mother, Spirit, Thank you very much for bringing us together. Thank you for the wonderful messages that we've all given and received tonight. Please take the energy that we have generated and please send it to someone that was going to come tonight but couldn't come for illness, Amanda. And please make sure that she receives that healing energy, and please make sure that she's able to use it. Thank you, and amen. Okay.